The code language today. We got another good conversation. It's kind of in alignment with what we was talking about earlier. But this code language is should versus is. Should versus is. It's kind of in alignment with what we was talking about earlier with the utopia question. So just diving back into that concept. Let's look up the definition of the word should, like we always do. Let's stick to the protocol. The definition of should used to indicate obligation, duty, or correctness, typically when criticizing someone's actions. Used to indicate what is probable. So that's the definition of should. Let's look up the definition of is, 2-letter word. Is a verb, specifically third person, singular, present tense form of the verb be. It is used to indicate existence, identity, or a state of being, and it links to the subject of a sentence to a noun or an adjective. That's the definition of the word is. So when we talk about should versus is, it's a situation where a lot of people live in the should, and they will get much further if they operated in the is. Is a state of being. Is right now. Is the present. So if you spend your time in the is, in the present, in the now, thinking about how things ought to be, you're first off, you living in what my dog say? Virtual reality. What Joe Jet say? Virtual reality. You living in virtual reality. You know what I'm saying? When you start talking about what things should be, you're talking about something that literally isn't. Right? And so should for me is like a trigger word. When I'm talking to people and they trying to, like, if we having a debate, for example, I'm with debates, and I'm not a debate coward either. Like some debate cowards, they just try to overtalk you and don't let you get your word out. No, I'm gonna let you make your point, and then I'm gonna rebuttal the heck out you and beat you fair and square. You know what I mean? But a lot of people, when they debate, they'll start talking about should this and should that. Man, you're not even talking about nothing real. You talking about what you want. Your desires or how you see things should be. That's not what this is. So, if I'm talking about what it is and you talking about what it should be, it's already a wrap for you. You know what I mean? But it's a trigger word for me because, when you're talking about should, you're not working towards a resolution. Always. You're not always working towards a resolution. I think before you get to shoulds, you have to address the is. Do that make sense to y'all, chat, or it don't make sense? If we don't address the present, how do we even get to talking about how it should be? Let's identify what's what. Let's identify what's what. Let's make it real. More people should work out, but instead they go get surgery. More people should work out. Y'all like, okay, I agree. But what did I fix? What did I fix? I didn't fix nothing. I just made a statement. All right, cool. Shit. Nobody should hurt anybody today. And you feel what I'm saying? So, but if we really wanted to fix something in relation to, body dysmorphia, obesity, all of that, if we really wanted to fix something, right? We would start with, we have an obesity problem. And the obesity problem is linked to a nutrition issue, right? A lot of fast food, people ain't cooking at home. A lot of food in the grocery store is fake. People don't know how to identify PLU numbers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Once we get to that, now we can start saying, okay, matter of fact, that 15 bands you just saved up, keep it. We're going to take 2 of that, and we're going to put you on a meal plan and get you a trainer. You're going to get the body you want out the gym, off the muscle. Use the rest of that bread for investments. Now we can start fixing something when we talk about what it is. Just making a should statement does nothing for it. What we doing? It's pedaling in the mud, treadmilling, running, going nowhere. See what I'm saying? So I think it's important for us to evaluate these concepts. And when we hear it, Mal said, should is optimistic. Got to be careful with that, for sure. Because the is could be very, very, the reality of things could be very cold sometimes. And if you trying to live in your fairy tale delusion world of optimism all around you, and that's not what's really actually happening around you, you walking through floating on freaking fairy dust talking about you know, you in some type of force field bubble that you meditated around yourself and shit, floating in the clouds. Because that's where it gets sometimes. Like with this spiritual stuff, for people who aren't religious and the spiritual stuff, some people go off into like toxic optimism. Gee, this ain't la la land we live in, folk. I don't care how tapped in you is with your chakras or none of that. You're gonna still have a bad day. Somebody's still gonna get on your nerves. You're still living a human experience. You ain't gonna transcend this human experience while being human. At that point, you inhuman. You inhuman. At that point, you are no longer one of us. If you transcend the human experience while you still human, you done meditated your way to the point where you know what I'm saying, got superpowers and shit. All right, you ain't one of us no more. You something else. We need to make a name for you. Y'all with me? Them should people dangerous, Miles. I'm with you. What do you say? The should is optimistic. You got to be careful with that. Yeah, because a lot of, listen, is more of reality harsh or easy to digest? Talk to me, chat. Is more of reality harsh or easy to digest? Just more of the truth. If you split the truth, 100% of the truth, what percentage of it is easy to digest? Just cold, hard reality. I'd say more of it is harsh for the average person. Shit. Jay-Zilla in the building, all the dogs fouling in.
Classic.
Yes, sir. But yeah, man, that's the code language of the day. Should versus is, man. Y'all make sure y'all put y'all minds on that. If you like what you just saw, support the channel. Make sure you subscribe, like, and jump in the comments. Talk to me so we could crack these codes. If you want to support the channel monetarily, go to my website and cop some merch, www.theclassiccodes.com. Or you can shoot me a cash app. Either way, stick to the codes.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Weathered the winters when left in the cold. Hardened my